Oh boy, it's been a while since the first part, but it's been long enough. Does anybody remember Chillogy, Part 2? Strike 3, you're doomed. The episode starts off with a recap of the previous one. Jessica is greedy, and Karl is creepy and sweaty. Anyway, Matthew is getting ready for a baseball game, aka one of the most boring sports in the history of sports. He does some embarrassing shit, and his mom catches him being lame. At the game, it looks like he hasn't been put in the game the entire duration. And I was right, when the opposing team's coach calls the Tigers coach out for not putting Matthew in at all, the entire season. The coach flips shit and says, "If I do that, we lose." What a jackass.
This is a ball. The object of the game is to hit it.
Wow,
Damn, I never been burned that bad before by a piece of wood.
Matthew unsurprisingly loses the game for his team and disappoints everyone. Even though everyone's being really nice about it, but if this was like a different show, he would definitely be getting his ass kicked. At the dinner table, Matthew's being a little bitch about the game and his dad excuses him. His dad comes into his room trying to cheer him up, and he tells his dad to fuck off. Once his dad leaves, his baseball falls into the miniature town, and he becomes the second person in this town to get sucked into Carlsville. Karl appears and scares the shit out of Matthew, telling him it's time to play a game. Invisible people are cheering, Karl does the Carlsville anthem, and the game begins. I feel like in this episode, Karl is actually showing the kid a valuable lesson regarding insecurities instead of just being a sweaty dickhead. The game begins and a ball pitcher rises from the ground. Matt eventually hits the ball and runs to first base, which keeps avoiding him. After some shenanigans, he finally gets to first base. The game continues as he's slowly moving away from the base. His feet get shackled to the ground and cardboard cutouts of himself start popping up. It kind of looks like a conveyor belt with the cutouts and Matthew going in front of the baseball pitcher as he avoids baseballs getting thrown at him. He breaks free by untying his shoes and crawling away to second base. Karl makes second base disappear when Matt decides to be a little bitch about the game. As he's trying to run away, the dirt ground falls apart beneath him and fucking lava appears with a balancing beam. He makes his way across the lava pond, even though he's definitely able to walk around it. Look at all that space! Matthew makes it to third base and Karl continues to antagonize him. The kid complains about no other players in the game, even though it's almost over and all he had to do was keep his big mouth shut. Karl creates another player and it's some weird ass monsters that definitely don't belong in this episode. They begin to fuck with Matthew as Karl chews the scenery some more. The monsters drop the ball and it floats up to Matt, revealing that the ball has a creepy face, sharp teeth. Honestly, one of the coolest and cheesiest effects I've ever seen in the show. The ball terrorizes Matthew, and Karl goes nuts. He runs as fast as he can and slides to home. Then gets teleported home. He thinks he's safe until the ball flies out of the miniature and unnecessarily attacks him. Matthew goes to bed and wakes up the next day to Jessica and his mother. Anyway, Jessica came by just to talk about the stupid baseball cards and then notices the town in the corner. She freaks out. They run to the garage to get some tools to dismantle the mini town. At the same time, Todd gets a "You're a grand prize winner" letter from sweaty Karl. He notices the miniature town and gets sucked in. The episode ends with yet another to be continued. I have to say, even though I shit on Karl 90% of the time, he's one of my favorite characters in this series. The guy who plays him is so damn good and does not hesitate to chew the scenery if necessary. I kinda want to see him play a Spider-Man villain. He's so entertaining to watch. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the final part in a few weeks, or whenever I get around to doing it. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you again soon.